Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Going for Three podcast. This is episode 35. My name is Percy, also known as PTP, and with me we got the AOB advocator of buckets, Chris Collins. How we feeling?
Oh, we're doing good, man. We're feeling good. It's a great day for sports. Great time in sports. The two great American sports are in their seasons right now, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, we got America sport, football. Got something going on with football today, actually. I'm sure if people do know about it, the Vikings and Bills game was a roller coaster, and some point we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into that. But we'll start it off with some NBA. Uh, as of at the time of this recording, Embiid, I believe it was yesterday. Was yesterday. Yes, well, 2 days ago, yesterday, one of the two, had a historical stat line, had 59 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 7 blocks. Now, I seen someone like kind of, I don't know if they were trolling with it or said that like Wilt definitely probably put up a stat line with this, probably without the assist, but a very historical night for Mr. Embiid.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, as it pertains to Wilt, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Wilt did lead the league in assists one time, so I wouldn't be too surprised with that. But I mean, it just shows the type of player that Embiid is when he's locked in and when he's on. It's just a lot of times it seems like I don't know, he's not locked in and he's not, on. So, I mean, if he's going to play like this, obviously, like not 59 points a game, but if he's going to play like this, then yeah, they belong where they should be at as far as in the contender realm, I should say. But, I mean, great game. It didn't give me no new information that I already didn't know. When
Yeah.
Embiid is on, there's nobody that can guard him, and that's it.
I mean, is he? I guess you can kind of say he's starting to get back into somewhat of the MVP bag he was in because the game prior he had 42 and 10, 6 2 blocks. But the explosion, I mean, granted they were playing they're playing the Jazz. The Jazz really don't have any bigs, so I'd expect him to kind of be that tapped in. I mean, he's going against like Kelly Olynyk and like Walker Kessler, not slouches by the way, but just on the grand scheme of things, like Embiid should be having his way. So
Yep, exactly. Uh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not. There's nothing that I'm not too surprised by. Um, he should be the focal point of their attack and their offense, even when James comes back, of course. Um, and like you said, I mean, I feel like it should be kind of a lesson to kind of get back to or make it your priority to get him back to the level that he was playing at even before James got there. He was playing at that really, really high MVP like level, and when James got there, a little bit naturally, he took the ball a little bit away from Embiid. I just think they need to figure out a safe balance for that. You want to still run your offense and run everything through your best player. So,
yeah, most
and
definitely.
Embiid is that.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and Embiid is that best player.
Yeah, if they can get that rolling to where getting a little bit of MVP Embiid and still somehow getting Harden his opportunities to still be more involved because I think that's the last season he passed a little, I guess, too much for what they were like wanted out of him. But if they can find that happy medium, then Sixers should be. I mean, right now they're not really too far out of the race for far as standings are concerned. I think.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're 7-7. They're 500. So I mean, it's still really early in the season. So like as the season progresses, they'll start separating themselves from the competition. I assume.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like, I don't anticipate the Raptors and the Wizards maintaining their positions ahead of them.
Yeah.
So they'll probably still end up being a top 5 seed somewhere in there.
Mm, yeah. I mean, so from one center to another. or in this case from the east to the west. James Wiseman recently got sent back down to the G League, center on the Golden State Warriors, getting sent to the Santa Cruz Warriors, I believe. Um, I seen something with
Oh,
Jordan.
demoted one.
Yeah, I seen something with Jordan Poole saying he kind of had to tell him it was don't see it as a demotion. Gonna get his shots up. He's gonna get more acclimated, more comfortable. Because I mean, I know what people were looking at when it came to Wiseman in college. He did a lot on the court. Like he handled a little bit. He shot. Obviously defended the rim really well. But the Warriors, it's kind of like they're getting maybe 30% of that, maybe 40. But
I mean, yeah, they're definitely bringing him along slow. I think he has the ability right now. I mean, from right now to his rookie year, like you can tell he's much stronger. He looks a lot like more filled out. And from what I saw when he was on the court, especially earlier in the season, when he was where it felt like he was getting a little bit more minutes, he just looked like he was a presence on the court, man. Just a new element for him. I don't really agree with the decision technically, but I mean, I'm not a championship coach or championship organization or whatever. But I mean, hey, I know they like Looney, but there ain't nothing that Looney can do that Wiseman can't. I think maybe Looney might just be more sold on his role, I guess. But I don't know. And then as far as if Jordan Poole said that, I mean, I feel like there's a difference. Jordan Poole was for lack of a better term, he was struggling a little bit more. I feel like than James Wiseman
and
was in
it
his
it, it,
minutes.
it his early stages, he kind of needed it more
Yeah,
than probably
Jordan.
Wiseman did. So
Yeah, Jordan was. When he had hair, it looked like sometimes he didn't need to be in the league. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I,
then
but
disappeared for a little bit, came back.
yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is like he still plays sporadically. He still plays the same. He's just better now. So, but he still takes those questionable ass shots. Still, sometimes gets tunnel vision. You know, takes a lot of heat checks. Yeah,
Yeah,
so but I mean Wiseman will be all right. I wouldn't say that he's not a right fit for the Warriors just because I mean he is their future. I mean bro's only 21.
I
So
believe he's like 21, 22.
I would be surprised if he's 22. But um I mean yeah, he's just a part of their future plan. I mean Poole, Wiseman, Moody, Kuminga, that's their future. I mean, they could probably move or package a couple of them if they see fit, but even still, those are their young assets, whether to keep or to move, going forward. So, I mean, and then also, I mean, the main guys are old, as we know.
Yeah,
So I mean, keeping these young players is pivotal. Dre's 30 plus, Clay's 30 plus, and coming off injuries. Steph is 34. And Steph gonna be able to play for a long time
with his
just because
style.
of his style and role. I mean, Clay will too, but I don't think Clay can be. It's tough because I feel like Clay can play just as long. Maybe I mean not at the same level, but like he can play just as long. But it's that his role, what it was before, I feel like might hinder that. So like going forward, I don't think I think he's only gonna either maintain or get worse on defense. He's not gonna return to that same level player. So that might impact his, I guess, the perception of him like starting or needing to start going forward. I don't know, over like somebody like Poole. When you can have like a Steph, Poole, Wiggins. I don't know who that four would be,
Yeah,
and like the either Looney or no, actually no, four can be Kaminga. Yeah, four can be Kaminga. Yeah, I don't know. They have options though, and
yeah.
I mean, I feel like that. I mean, this is a good problem to have. Honestly, we don't have enough minutes to find for our young players because we have other good players. So let's develop him even more.
Yeah.
So
Or it could be
it's
something
not a
with
it's not
the
a terrible problem.
yeah. I've seen something where they kind of it's like even on the court sometimes because like a Golden State News reporting thing like for Instagram or whatever, and there do seem it seems like at some points when like the young guys aren't really doing well. Steve Kerr obviously wants those guys on the court, but he kind of has those like sporadic moments where if it's 2 straight games of them not really producing, he has to take like an assertive form of action, which I mean obviously isn't a bad thing because I mean they're responding to that, and in some cases it makes them better. But due to
Man, he does. Yeah, he
the
doesn't
rough
seem like he
start,
has a. He doesn't seem like he has a pretty long leash. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's from the like he's not from the San Antonio coaching tree per se, but I mean he played under that system, played with Phil Jackson. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a guy that has a long leash, and we've seen certain players with him where if you're making mistakes, you're gonna lose minutes, or you'll be sent down or whatever. Whether it's Kuminga, whether it was Jordan Bell, maybe a little bit of Poole, like we've seen it before. So
uh, even with even they weren't really on the team. Like shoot, Mac McClung, like dude was playing for the summer league team, and then they halfway through, he was just like, you know what, nah, we need a facilitator. We'll get Ty Jerome. Like Mac McClung probably thought he was getting ready for the season opener, and boom, immediately getting cut. But yeah, should be interesting. Obviously, I feel like Wiseman will. The more back to form he gets, obviously in the long run, he'll be more of a valuable asset to them. I don't think it'll be that much longer until he's probably back up with them anyway, because I don't know who else would be their backup center if it's like just Looney on the team anyway. So you put like Michael Green at the 5 or something like.
that's probably what they're gonna do. They like running small. They really only keep like for real one traditional big on the roster at this point anyway. I feel like, and even back in the day, they might have had like 2, but that's pushing it. Like, they might have had like
Well, yeah,
like
they
a,
had a
like a Looney and then like a JaVale, or like a Looney and like a Spates or something.
yeah.
And I don't even know if they were on the team at the same time. That might have just been me confusing that.
Space was
But
with Bogut. Yeah.
well, then yeah, so yeah, and they both can shoot, so it's not really too traditional.
Yeah. Hmm. But shoot, moving on to another Western Conference team, the Utah Jazz, who, as of current moment, figure this out real quick.
They lost
They lost to
tonight,
them.
but they'll still be a top. They're still a top 3 seed because Memphis also lost tonight.
And so now they're in
They
6.
should be they should be 10-6.
Yep. So being that they're at this 10-6 point, and it's interesting to see how things have been going for them as far as Larry Markkinen. Obviously, he's taking those leaps. This is a team where they need him to play and want to see him grow. Um, Seems like you see it from certain people how they might say they're an overachiever, or just maybe can't even say strength of schedule, because I mean they've had some pretty tough matchups in the beginning.
Yeah, no, I can't. I definitely can't blame it on strength of schedule. They've played some teams. They've got some good quality wins in there. I mean, the Hawks, they beat the Clippers, the Grizzlies. They beat the Grizzlies twice. So I
Uh,
mean, yeah, I can't say that. Beat the T-Wolves, Pelicans, blew out the Nuggets. I can't. Yeah, they've got some quality wins. I mean, I definitely do think they're overachieving. They've got it. I mean, I've got to think that because I mean, a lot of us had them as the worst team in the NBA at the beginning of the season. So
the first I held out on them, I ain't gonna lie, because I kind of thought looking at their roster, I felt like there was no way realistically that they were gonna like be like purely bad. I feel like they were gonna be like the ones that like hang around at the tail end. They still had veterans or like capable young guys that I feel if you gave them the minutes, they would be serviceable. So
But see, that's an issue, though, in my opinion, just because that's the worst place to be. You don't want to hang around, the low 6 to 8 or 6 to 10, I guess, since the play is a thing now, like 6 to 10 range, because it's just like you're not going to win anything, and you're not
yeah,
bad enough to get any really good draft picks. So I don't know. It's interesting just because I guess it depends on what they think of Laurie marketing going forward. I mean, he's definitely taking a step forward, in my opinion. Is it sustainable as far as being a catalyst for their success? Uh, maybe. I mean, I think we need to see a little bit more, but I mean, in this season, he's been putting the ball on the deck a little bit more, taking more high quality shots. He's more athletic and more comfortable being on ball than I thought personally. And
Yeah, he
I
can handle
already
a
knew,
little bit.
yeah, I already knew he was like 7. He's close to 7 feet if he isn't 7 feet for real. So, I mean, that's a problem. I mean, offensively, he's nice. So, and like
Yeah,
you said, I mean, they're a nice collection of vets. You know, Clarkson, Conley, um, who else? Sexton. It's a bunch of guys on that team. Now, I don't think they finished the year. A lot of them, I don't think they finished the year on the team because,
the stock is definitely going to be high on, especially Jordan Clarkson right now because he's averaging like 18 and
I mean,
4.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it might be some high stock on a lot of guys. Clarkson, Conley, marketing, Olenek, I mean,
Yeah.
Beasley, you know, Horton Tucker. I mean, these are movable pieces. I mean, they're not even, I don't even think Ochai has been able to play too much.
He's only played
But
6 games so far.
yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of young prospects and developed vets on this team. All of them that can be probably moved at some point. I mean, like I said, Horton Tucker still got Nikhil, Ochai. Is this Rudy Gay on the team? I didn't even know he was here.
And
So
Rudy's still here. Rudy
yeah,
low-key banged out a couple of weeks ago. Like Rudy, like that's like with this team. When I think about it, if they pretty sure like the image of this team was like, all right, we're gonna win some games, but more or less we want to be like as low as possible. Because I'm pretty sure they do want like one of the guys in the class, like you want a Scoot Henderson or a Victor.
yeah, no,
So
they want to tank
yeah,
because I mean, none of these guys are superstars or are going to be. I mean, marketing may be able to turn into like a fringe all star given the opportunity, but I mean, everybody else. I mean, and I guess Colin Sexton might be able to be put up all star level numbers, but I mean, everybody else, you kind of know what they are,
yeah,
and you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win a championship, with this roster, in my opinion. So I can definitely see, a lot of these guys, start moving around toward the trade deadline or even before it. And plus, just because like they can help a lot of teams, like Laurie Marketing can be a nice piece for a lot of teams. Jordan Clarkson can be a nice piece for a lot of teams. So
I feel like if anything, like they're older guys like Clarkson, Olenek definitely. I feel, even though I kind of feel bad for him because he's already he already got moved once where he thought he was gonna stay with that team for the entire season, or he prepped to be in Detroit, but then ended up being like, all right, bet you're going to Utah, and then it's like he's gonna spend half his season probably here, and then around like All Star weekend probably be suiting up for another team, but that's just how it goes. But yeah, I feel like a lot of those, like a Vanderbilt who's I don't know how the Timberwolves kind of just gave up on him. Honestly, he can
well, I
be
mean,
he can be 10-10.
he didn't give up. They didn't give up on him, but I mean, you got to give up something for Rudy Gobert. They liked him,
And they did
but you
swap, yeah.
gotta, yeah, he's a nice player. A little bit undersized, in my opinion, but I mean, pretty solid defensive prospect. Hustle guy. Yeah, he's a glue guy. I feel like you said that about somebody else, but yeah, I think he's a glue guy too. So
Yeah, I feel like those guys like later down the stretch, if a team like, I can't even think of any teams right now that probably. I mean, the Clippers still like they have like a couple of holes still. They're gonna need another center at some point. Um, I think how the Lakers look, they might need some depth. There's a couple of teams that I can think
no, we
of,
can't we can't get nothing from nobody for nothing.
but
So it would be nice, but I mean, Jared is, like I said, the Jets got a lot of guys. I wouldn't necessarily put Jared at the top of my list. Probably, a little lower down, but I mean, they have plenty of prospects, and they started out hot. you know, kind of can't have come down to earth a slight bit. They've lost 2 in a row, but I mean, they play ball the right way, and they have they have talented guys on their team. Nobody's an all-star, but they have a bunch of like they're just they're a team full of like good starters and or like good players.
But I feel like that's mainly the reason why they even got off to the start that they did. Because I mean, Marketing, even though he's still pretty young, I think he's like 24, 25. He's been in the league for a while. Um, you got like Clarkson, Olenek, a lot of guys that have been around multiple teams and just play like a really long amount of time. So pairing all those together with the abilities that they all possess, you're gonna win a couple of games. It's probably gonna look a little. You might get a couple blowouts every once in a while. That's with any team. If you're hot one night, anybody can get blown out. But kind of like I said earlier, I don't think this is sustainable. Or like as far as like whether or not they keep the team together, probably not. But even if they did, probably keep the team like intact at some point, because even on back to backs, they don't look the same from from the one that I've seen. Like shooting wise, they look a little sluggish on back to backs, but it's with any team. So
Yeah. Do you think? Do you think they make the playoffs? Still early, of course, but
yeah, but they could be a play-in team. Maybe I'm thinking playing because well, I ain't gonna lie, the Clippers. I don't know if Kawhi will ever be healthy this year, so I can't even tell if they get him back, then that changes things. But now that I think about it, yeah, the way the West is looking, I feel like they probably do have a chance to like lock up an actual seeding in lock up actual seed in the playoffs. Because even after they trade some of the old guys, I probably will still see them winning a couple of games. Because then it's just more opportunity for them to experiment and just throw people on the court.
I was saying it in the belief that they keep their guys. They trade their guys, and I'm off of it.
Yeah,
If they trade either Clarkson or Marketing, I'm off of it.
yeah, for sure.
Personally,
But it's like
I mean, just because like
I
for
feel
them to
like
get in,
mhm.
somebody that's supposed to be there ain't gonna be there.
Yeah. Think if they like the only person I can see them still probably like say if they move Conley, I feel like they still make it. I don't even think people would really want to like people wanted to move for Conley when they were like unloading the truck anyway.
Yeah, and that shit. There's gonna be somebody gonna be disappointed. Just because like I'm just looking at the West, and I mean I see the top 8 seeds. It's the Blazers, Nuggets, Jazz, Grizzlies, Suns, Mavericks, Clippers, Pelicans, and we still got Golden State and Minnesota at 10 and 11. And I don't anticipate them being or staying there forever. You know what I mean? So like
Uh,
somebody that's got some serious playoff aspirations is not gonna make it.
yeah. Even at this point, shoot, the Clippers are looking like without Kawhi, they're probably still looking at like playing playing lowest ceiling type of thing. Looking to
Yeah, I mean,
Doug if they're
all
healthy.
these old teams, all these older teams with the older stars, they might be in trouble this season. I don't know.
It's looking like it. Looking like it.
They just don't have the legs, just to be running up and down the court, jacking threes and shit all game and all season long.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I haven't seen it in the seen it in the Clippers game tonight. They played the Mavericks, and at some point, they started to work their way back in. John Wall started teeing up. Then overall, you got to think about it. Shoot, Luca is that just youth is really like probably the thing that's killing most teams in the West. Not really so much in the East. I feel like the East is still in similar range age wise. The West, it's like a new tide.
Mhm. And then shit. Kings blew it. Kings blew the Nets out. That's an old team.
Yeah,
Well, older, I should say. At least up top.
yeah,
Yeah, they got killed.
yeah, they 135 to 101. Jeez. But it'd be interesting to see what the Jazz do later on in the season because yeah, should be should be at some point they try to unload house or take calls or whatever, but should be pretty good. But get back into this wild case of a football game. And actually on a pretty good day of football, honestly, that I can remember.
Mhm. Yeah, good games all the way around.
It's like them Lions got a dub. They won two in a row. I was geeked. I ain't gonna cap.
All right.
I had to throw them in there real quick. Some point.
And Justin Fields got some of the best looking losses for his stats I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't know. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know he was running like with that much ferocity.
Yeah, he ran a 4.3
Uh,
coming out of college. I mean, and bro's not small. I mean, he's 6'3", he's 6'3", about 230. So
yeah,
I mean,
I could use his body more than he did before. Like I know back like in college, he was like,
no, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't run like that at all in college. He was a pocket quarterback for real in college.
yeah,
But I mean, it's one of those things I feel like where he realized, our passing offense isn't that great. We don't have the best receivers. I may not be where I need to be too. But shit, these running lanes are wide open, so
yeah.
why not? And I think he realized probably in like that first breakout game where he's like, well, shit, they're not really stopping me from running this ball, so I might as well keep running it.
I think because he definitely ran like a man possessed for sure. Threw a pick six and then ripped off a 60 to 70 yard touchdown. It was I ain't gonna lie, it was wild game on a good day, like I said earlier. But speaking of quarterbacks that run or that run like the life depends on it. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, probably the most intriguing game from a way of like how it ended, controversy and all that. Um they lost to the Vikings. It was 33-30 after they went to overtime. I believe you said you had a couple of words about Mr. Josh Allen.
Well, first of all, I just what's the controversy here? I mean, what's controversial? He choked the game away. What's what's controversial?
Well, to the initial idea of, I believe at the time that Davis had that sideline catch, the Vikings were up. Maybe the Vikings were up. That swayed a little bit because that moved them further up the field. Then at one point, play that they fumbled,
Yeah, so
had way too many men on the field.
well, yeah, they were up by 3. They were well, no, the Vikings were up by I want to say. Wait, how does this work? How does this work? Were they up by 7? Well, so they might have been tied. Wait, now I gotta think.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like the cap, like the score cap summary.
Yeah,
There it is.
look.
One point after the fumble return, Minnesota was up by 3.
Oh yeah, because that really should have been game over.
Yeah, and then they had the catch
Yeah,
outside. They got a
and then
penalty.
Buffalo got into field goal range.
Yeah,
Oh, that penalty was terrible.
I think it was like pass interference or something.
He barely touched him, and the ball was overthrown.
There
All
was
I'm saying, man, listen.
yeah. A lot of people say the refs had a lot of sway game that literally they still ended up losing. Which I mean, it looks worse for them. It looks worse for the Bills as a whole to watch a game like that where you had everything going for you. You had everything kind of like swaying in your favor, and then they still managed to pull it off.
All I know is Josh Allen choked this game away. I mean, there's really no way. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he fumbled. The game is essentially over, especially because he's big as hell. If he just gets the ball, we're not gonna tackle him backwards. He's huge as shit. He's huge. He drops the ball on the goal line with basically the game in hand, and then in overtime, he throws an interception. A terrible throw, I might add. It was pretty bad. In an overtime period where they were moving the ball effortlessly against the Vikings defense.
Yeah,
So
had a couple of good plays leading up to that point, and then
yeah, I'm
fourth
pretty
and
sure every
incremental.
play. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I don't think they got to a third down. When they had the ball in overtime, it sure didn't feel like it. So, hey man, listen. He's got to be better than that. I think in the last 2 weeks he's had 6 turnovers. I want to say, pretty bad.
Yeah, I remember the sentence about the interceptions he's had. This is the most interceptions he's had in back-to-back games. This is rookie year, I believe.
1-5 would never. 1-5 would never. I don't need to say his name because y'all know who he is. 1-5 would never. As a matter of fact, and if 1-5 did, all we would hear about, oh, he's not. He missed Tyreek. He not the same without Tyreek. Just a bunch of nonsense talking about the best quarterback in the league. Patrick Mahomes is who I'm talking about. If you didn't figure it out, there are levels to this. Josh Allen's nice. He's phenomenal. He hasn't won anything. He hasn't proven to me that he can't. So let's stop. Let's slow down, bro. Peep the brakes. Pump the brakes. Let's calm down. Josh Allen is struggling right now. The Bills are struggling right now. They need to get it together. They're too reliant on Josh Allen entirely too much. I get he can run. I get he's huge. You don't have to run him a lot. It's really not necessary. I mean, it's just he doesn't have to run as much as he does.
I think I feel like in a way, even though offensively, people like to say like, okay, like the Bills have one of the top offenses in the league, which I mean, on some days they really do look like it, but overall, Diggs, almost I'm trying to figure out what's another team that I can kind of like the Vikings in a way, like how Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson is like the first option more often than not on certain plays if the game's on the line. Bills, in most cases, throughout the stretch of the game, the first option is Diggs. And then, depending on how you play Diggs, you might get Gabriel Davis, you might get Dawson, they might run the ball. But overall, I feel like, yeah, like I said, like it's mainly like you get it to Diggs or Josh Allen puts the pads down, tries to run somebody over. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not really gonna work the longer you kind of run this strategy and the more people start to see this type of formula from you.
Long term, it's definitely not sustainable. I mean, there's plenty of cases that you can look at of bigger quarterbacks. I'm not gonna say they're all the same size as Josh Allen, but some of them definitely are. Andrew Luck, Big Ben, Cam Newton. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but these were great quarterbacks who will run the football, and I mean, they broke them down one by one. You can't keep taking hits like that. It's not really a sustainable way to, have your quarterback play. And they were too reliant on him, in my opinion. So, yeah.
I mean,
I guess I didn't have that much of a rant. Yeah.
it's one of the things where it's like, I mean, the Bills obviously, even past couple of seasons, it's like every time they have like those hot starts or hot stretches where you're like, oh, who's beating them? Josh Allen looks phenomenal. Like, this might be the year. They have that one bad loss where you kind of have to reflect and be like, okay, well, yeah, he still has some of those tendencies, or maybe the receiving core isn't as nice as you thought it was. Maybe they don't run the ball as much. Defense kind of folded. Like you had a pick in hand, and then Justin Jefferson just goes up one hand, just yanks it from you. Like there's certain games where they're gonna have those moments, and obviously people know the Bills are still gonna be a threat, but
I mean, I think
like now you talk about.
currently right the third in their division right now.
I forgot, yeah,
So,
the Jets and who else is there above them?
the Dolphins
Yeah.
and the AFC East look like the best division in football right now. You can't even cap it.
Yeah. I remember seeing something where they said like it was like I think it was them in the NFC.
Well,
They said it was a couple teams like where the East could almost every team could possibly make the playoffs.
well, yeah, at the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about the AFC West. You know, everybody was talking about Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, and no one was talking about the Chiefs because everyone they hate 1-5. I guess I don't know. They hate success. I guess I don't know. And you know all these shiny new toys. Oh, the Chargers got Khalil Mack. Oh, Denver got Russell Wilson. Oh, Raiders got Devontae. They forgot that Casey still had 1-5. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I'm not gonna lie
But yeah,
when it comes to the West though, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think anyone. I mean, the Raiders. I'm not even really gonna like. There's been times where the Raiders have had really nice teams and just kind of like crap to bed. But I don't think.
no,
Yeah,
this McDaniels all the way.
yeah,
He can't head coach. This is his second opportunity, right?
yeah. Second or
Listen,
third.
it looked like
Yeah,
it's
he's
more than
got a
one.
lot. Yeah.
So he's showing you he can't coach because this team, literally this team minus Devontae last year with multiple players on their team going through some pretty hefty legal troubles. Talk about distractions and the
Yeah.
coaching and like the whole coach with that whole
The
situation. They still made the
emails.
playoffs last
Yeah.
year. Yeah, they made the playoffs with all of that last year, and now you're telling me we're worse. The only thing, so I mean, we're not worse because of Devontae Adams. I'll tell you that. So I got to point to the coach.
Yeah, most definitely. And then I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened to Russ, but
Broncos country.
he looks
Let's ride.
yeah, he looks horrible. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it gets to the point where like he can't even post his God tweets anymore. I see somebody
I mean,
literally tell him like God like God wouldn't want this for you. Like how you playing right now was not a good sight for them.
they can't run the ball. He doesn't want to run the ball. He looks like he doesn't even want to get hit.
Yeah, he doesn't run anymore.
I don't know. He hasn't really been that accurate either. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know the big bad
After the
AFC
Thursday
West.
game, it was terrible for them.
Yep, the big bad AFC West isn't that great.
Yeah.
And if we win, if the Chiefs win on this upcoming Sunday, I think we clinched the division with a month left in the season,
Yeah.
or it might be 2 months.
I gotta think about it. Random side note: we kind of agree that both West divisions have kind of been like subtle disappointments. And I'm thinking about it, like both. There's a lot of teams in the West where they thought it was gonna be competitive, and then like there's like like the Chiefs gonna have like a tougher route. They're routing it right now, and then in the NFC is like the Seahawks are surprisingly the first seed. The Rams are last.
Yeah, I mean the Rams have had some they've been hit pretty bad by the injury bug though, so I'll give them that. I
Yeah.
mean, but I can agree. I mean, going from Super Bowl champions to what's looking like a season that will miss the playoffs.
Yeah, because defensively, I don't think they
I
lost
mean, that's
anything
definitely
really defensively that I can count. They added Bobby Wagner.
yeah. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how many of these guys are actually playing right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, 'cause I know Donald's playing. I think Ramsey's playing.
I mean, Stafford didn't play last week
Yeah.
or this past week.
Yeah. I think he might have recently started missing games, or who knows? He might have been missing a couple, but yeah,
I mean, yeah, Cardinals have definitely been a disappointment too.
yeah,
So
yeah. I feel like they're way better than their record, and it's bad. The Niners are holding on to second seed, and Christian McCaffrey don't even look comfortable in their offense yet. That's the
and, yeah, that's what Shanahan is there for. So
yeah. Because I feel like once they figure that out, shoot, they might keep that. Then now you got to figure out the Cardinals and the Rams got to battle for third.
yeah, because the Rams are not going to be the Rams are staying where they are. I mean, yeah, Cooper Cup's out for the season,
The Cup's on
basically.
IR, yeah.
So this is a wrap, bro. I mean, it's. I mean, yeah, it's. They lost their starting left tackle. They lost their right guard. Yeah, no,
Got that to pack this.
it's a wrap. Yeah, pack it in. You might as well start the backups, see what you got in them. I'm serious.
Yeah,
This season is over.
yeah. But in a messed up way, yeah, you know what team benefits from this whole situation?
Um, I do not.
Them dudes in the Honolulu Blue, because we got that first round pick.
Offer you from the Rams?
Yeah, we got their first round pick, I believe. I'm pretty sure we have their first round pick. Which I didn't think it would be that high, to be honest. But I mean, after initially I was thinking, okay, like they're gonna start off slow, they'll figure it out. Then, like I said, Cup's on IR, and then they lost a lot of pieces. This could very much be a top 15 pick, and it's
Oh, it's definitely
yeah,
gonna be no. It's definitely gonna be a top 15 pick. That's for sure. I mean, no, you're being generous with that. You should
yeah,
probably go top
top 10.
10. I mean, they're just gonna be bad. Like they were already reliant on Cooper Cup too much already. Like they've been trying to find a replacement for him all year with Allen Robinson and a couple other guys. It didn't work,
Yeah,
and now Cooper Cup's gone. And now you're missing your O line is decimated. So yeah. No, they already had struggles on defense at certain points. So
yeah,
and they don't really have an easy schedule going forward. I mean, they got the Saints next week with that crazy defensive line that they have.
yeah.
I mean, they're not a perfect team either, but like they got
They play
talent.
deep.
Then and then they got they got the this buzz saw in Arrowhead. That's a loss unless we choke it away. Which we've been known to do so. But either way, the Saints, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Packers, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Seahawks again. It's not an easy path. I mean, yeah, the Broncos have been struggling, but the defensive line and defense in general is decent. Packers defense has been playing better too.
Yeah.
Chargers have talent as well. So
Aaron's probably gonna be pissed by the time they play them. So I don't see that ending well for them, more or less.
yeah, they could easily finish. What is this? 5-12, and that's me giving them 2 more wins out of this. I mean, they might beat the Raiders. They could split with the Seahawks. They could beat the Chargers. They could beat the Broncos too.
Yeah,
But they're not beating the Chiefs, and I don't got them beating the Saints either. It could get ugly.
yeah.
So that pick might be nice for you. And I'm looking across the landscape of the league, and I mean, as far as the NFC, I mean, everybody's going to be probably better than them just as far as health wise. I mean, you got at least the teams that are the same record as them. So like the Saints are 3-7, but I mean, I think the Saints will probably win some more games. Although the Saints have a hard schedule going forward too.
Yeah.
But I think they're just a better team right now. Who else is 3 and whatever 3 wins?
The Panthers got
The
three.
Panthers got 3 wins. The Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers will definitely be in the running for that too. We got the Bears. I mean, the Bears have been playing pretty well these last couple of weeks. I mean, I know they've lost 3 in a row, but the last 2 games were less than 4 points. So
Yeah.
and then with Lions, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be they're gonna be in that realm. And then we have over on the AFC the Texans, the Raiders, and the Steelers all have less than or 3 wins or less. So yeah, Rams are gonna be in that conversation.
Yeah.
I think even more so just because they have injuries, it might just be one of those things where it's just like, hey guys, it's just one of those years we got hit by the injury bug. Let's just let's just make it through the season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Not really thinking about it. I mean, you could be the Texans. You could very much be the Texans.
Oh gosh, nobody wants to be the Texans. Horrible organization, ran terribly with no assets because Bill O'Brien gave them up.
Dude, like,
Oh man,
they should sue him. They
yeah.
should sue him at some point. Honestly, they have to sue him, bro.
They have a good young running back though.
At Damian Pierce.
Yes.
Yeah. But even at some point, I mean, the thing is, like, Damian Pierce is good. I mean, Davis Mills, he showed he has capability. I just think outside of that, there's nothing. Uh, and then Cooks is upset because he should have been traded. But he's
Oh yeah,
still
no,
there.
I'd be upset if I was him too. Like I don't know why he's still on the roster.
They even said, "Hey, we're gonna shop you," and then they're like, "You know what? Nah, we're good. Knowing good and well, you're not doing anything this season." But
Yeah, they've got the worst rushing defense in the league, and they have the 30th total defense, and then they have the 29th total offense. So yeah, they're just a bad team.
yeah,
I mean, there's really no way around it. I don't know who they beat. I can't remember, but they should be ashamed of themselves.
I don't even remember.
They beat the Jaguars. They did,
Okay, so they're in division.
and then they tied somebody. I don't know
It was the
who
Colts.
tied. They tied the Colts.
Yeah, because the Colts have a tie on their record as well.
Well, yeah, there's two. Well, I'm not gonna say two bad teams. One bad team and one team that is very confusing in the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Colts really aren't that far from being bad because like it's just so
I mean,
like
they're 4-5 though.
like the roster is
Well,
fine, but I feel like most of those wins came from like their division. Like outside of the Titans, like most of their division is like punching bags most of the majority of the time.
no, I agree. I mean, and they got wins against the Jaguars. They beat the hapless Raiders. The Raiders suck right now. There's just no way around that. Oh yeah, I forgot they beat the Chiefs.
Seems almost like a forgotten tale, honestly.
Well, for some reason, the Chiefs don't play the Colts well in recent memory. Like we've lost to them the last 2 times we've played under with Patrick Mahomes as well. They just you can't beat them, or he plays bad. Like some of his worst performances in his career is against the Colts. So I don't know.
It's
So,
interesting because I mean, I
yep.
wouldn't think they'd be the ones that torches everybody else. Well, mostly he torches mostly everybody else.
Hey man, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I mean every team has that type of or every guy has that type of team. I forgot what team it is for I think. I forgot what team it was for Tom Brady. He had a team that he just couldn't he never did good against. But
When he was at the Bucks, he couldn't really beat the Saints. I mean, he beat them recently,
I had the Saints. Yeah,
but
Saints terrorized the Bucks since he got there.
yeah.
Yeah, even for them, like this is I think about overall for football. 'Cause I know we really haven't many opportunities to speak on this season, but overall, this is almost like a kind of flipped upside down scenario as well because a lot of the teams that LA had like bigger pieces added to their organization are expected to probably do more, and then you got teams like the Dolphins with Tyreek, the Jets team just through the draft that surprisingly are putting together a really good season right now. I'm not sure if that's good or bad though that they're kind of seeing like the early success they're seeing.
Oh,
Jets,
the Dolphins?
Jets.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Jets.
I felt like they were in a rebuild still. Like outside of them getting like Sauce and Jermaine.
Well, uh, what's the coach name? Robert what? What's his last name?
I think it's Salah, but I'm not sure.
Robert Salah
Mm,
or Salah.
yeah.
He's a good coach. He's a good defensive coach. They have a lot of good personnel, and they know who they want to be, identity wise. I mean, they want to run the ball. They want to be physical, things of that nature. I mean, even when they lost the run, Bryce Hall goes down, they trade for James Robinson, from Jacksonville. So they know who they want to be. They're not really asking Zach to do too much. Just kind of allowing him to grow. If he is that guy, they're allowing him to grow into that role. But we're gonna run the ball like hell, and we're gonna play defense. And they have the pieces on defense, So I mean, they got a bunch of guys: Sauce, Mosley, Quinlan, Joyner, Whitehead, Sherwood. There's a lot of guys, a lot of guys on that team. Rankins,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of guys. Lots of guys. So,
It's
and I mean, the Jets have been like the Jets have had good defenses in the past. So like it's kind of a part of the culture. I feel like of the Jets, at least in recent memory. Um, yeah,
I
and
had
then of course
like
they weren't
Mark
going to be
Scott.
bad.
Uh,
Yeah, which is
Davis.
weird because like people were really acting like the Jets were like the Browns or something. Like the Jets have been to championship games like this decade.
The Jets. Oh yeah, the
You know
Jets
what I
have
mean?
been on
Like,
top at certain points. Super Bowl.
yeah, that was like that Bart Scott team. Those Bart Scott teams, was that not like 2010, 2011, 12, whatever? It wasn't that
Yeah, I
wasn't
think it's
that
the
long ago.
2010s. Maybe the earliest would probably be 2009.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe the earliest.
But yeah, I mean, Jets have not been. They've had a rough patch, but like, come on, let's relax on the Jets. But yeah, good team.
Yeah.
Good team going forward. I mean, I don't know if Zach Wilson is the guy, but I mean they're bringing him along nicely. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, eventually at some point, definitely gonna dive into playoff picture because I think how many weeks are left for them? I think it's like week. Last week was like week 10, right? Or like week 9.
It's week 9 right now.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, 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 no. It was week 10. We're going into week 11.
Yeah. Like like around.
But they're 18 total weeks now
Not sure.
because of that extra game.
Yeah. Pretty sure like they should picture the playoff picture should probably be at least somewhat like somewhat closed out or at least close to being closed out by like at least week 15, I'd assume. That's rather who clinches and then wild card stretches in the 18.
I mean, yeah, but I mean it'll come down to the last week for those last spots. It always does.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of scenarios as to how it works out.
Yeah. Remember last year's scenario for one team where like 5 different it's like they had to win. Well, I think like 2 different teams had to win and 3 other teams had to lose for them to get into the playoffs. Or it was something close to that.
It'll be specific.
Yeah, like then, but yeah, that's when the fun begins, though. Honestly, when they start to find like 8 to 10 reasons or 8 to 10 ways a team get into the postseason, because
I guess, man, I can't relate. You know what I'm saying? My team gonna be clinched by this next Sunday, so I ain't worried about it.
Hey, y'all would be fine.
But
Y'all would be fine.
yeah, we gonna be a lock for the playoffs come Sunday, and we're gonna lock our division up, and that's gonna be a wrap.
Now that I think about it, wait, who the Lions? We play the Giants. Hey, the Giants might be not Giants, but the Lions might be a wild card team. I'm not banking on it.
Ooh,
Lions might be the
the
Lions might be a wild card.
are you think you're gonna beat the Giants?
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Okay,
Because I ain't gonna lie.
they're not 7. They're not 7-2 for no reason.
I ain't gonna lie, Saquon is Saquon. They got some good defense.
They've got some quality wins.
Yeah.
They beat the Bengals, beat the Titans, beat the Packers, beat the Ravens.
Yeah. Oh, dang, I forgot they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, they've got some good wins.
Yeah. That's why it kind of hurt me to say that, because I'm like, I like Daniel. I was one of the few people that, like, stuck by me.
Oh, they're not winning because of him. I'll tell you that.
They're not winning all their games because of Daniel, but I mean, he's a couple of games where
He's
he's
playing better. He's playing better.
Yeah.
I had someone try to tell me he was a top 10 quarterback in the league, and I said, "You're drunk. I need to know what you're drinking." I'm trying to get as zooted as you are. Let me know what you own, because that's wild.
Yeah. Like, I don't go that far, but I feel like people always give him the short end of the stick, like in the beginning stage. I'm like, see when the Giants have a full team, at least like a foolish team, give them a chance. And this is a foolish team.
I mean, true, but I think that's the main point of what separates the guys from just guys. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about get Daniel Jones offensive line, blah 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 for years, and Joe Burrow has the worst offensive line in a while. He comes in and he can't be stopped. And this is before Jamar Chase. Even his first year before he got hurt.
He was cooking before the injury.
He was cooking, exactly, with a terrible offensive line. So it's like, not to say that Daniel Jones can't be successful. All I'm saying is if he was going to be that guy, I think we would have known it already. You know?
Yeah, I can see that though. I can see that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's gonna be that's a one. Yeah. Have to be glued all day. Are we going to East Rutherford? Oh man. Eesh. But that's enough of that for the football though. Probably gonna wrap it up for this episode. Yeah, like I said, definitely at some point gonna talk about more of the NFL teams, because obviously the NFC East is pretty interesting right now. The Eagles lost as well. Finally got their first loss on their record. So
don't even talk to me about that bullshit.
Hey.
It's like if the refs didn't make it any better, the Eagles didn't want to win themselves. That Quez Watkins play.
So he just dropped it, right? Like he just dropped pass.
No, so he caught it. Well, okay, first of all, Jalen Hurts gives him a absolute dime. The guy, this is what Shannon Sharp said. Basically said that when he caught it, but he fell. And he's like, when guys fall like that to catch the ball, he said that they're unsure of their hands. I don't know if I agree with that, but it sure felt like it. So he falls. Keep in mind, PTP, he didn't have to stretch out or anything. Like it was a perfectly in stride thrown ball. Like it was perfect. It was literally a 10 out of 10 pass. He falls to catch it, and then he gets back up and gets tackled and fumbles the ball. Keep in mind, it's just like the guy behind you didn't fall. So where did you think you was going? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It was crazy because like you could tell like he knew that he should have stayed running, or that he could have stayed like upright, because he got up so frantically trying to run. It's like he knew it, bro. It was a touchdown. You should check it out because it was egregious. Yeah. It was a wide open touchdown. perfect throw, everything. The Dallas Goddard, I believe, fumble when they twisted his head around.
Lord.
The called face mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. Or the there's another
'Cause
turnover.
I remember somebody saying that like AJ Brown had like a terrible night, like just one catch and a drop.
Yeah, so Hurst threw another would look like a really good ball, and it looked like it hit AJ Brown's hands, and that he really didn't secure it, and the DB just kind of took it from him while they were like all running downfield.
Yeah.
And then the whole late roughing the passer, that was just a bad play by old dude. Yeah, they were just they threw the game.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Hey. It's yeah, like I said, a wild night. But that was a wild night, wild week for football. Only gonna probably get a lot wilder as the season starts to culminate. But yeah, guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week. Appreciate you guys for listening. As always, you can follow the podcast on social media at Going for Three Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Forgot to tweet out the episode last week. I will make sure to do that this week as well. But where can the people find you at on socials?
You can find me at Chris D. Collins on Instagram and Twitter.
And at PTP_99 for Twitter. Gonna be a Pistons rant within the next 3 days. I ain't gonna lie to you. You on the lookout. Nah. But appreciate you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
For sure.